Hi, this is Jerry Mikulski. We are video reporting live from the floor of Fast Forward 2008. I'm here with Robert Patterson, who is blogging the event and has interesting things to think about for us on how all of this technology might affect more traditional media, but non-textual media like radio and TV and other sorts of things. What are you thinking about? What does this mean to you?
Well, the great challenge for television and radio at the moment is the schedule. They have the schedule. So what will happen if I, the user, have the schedule? And I think this has been the transition issue that they're all looking at. So they have masses and masses of content that already exists, but it's hidden. You can't find it. And they say, of course, this content is very valuable and it was very expensive to make. But of course, if you and I can't find it, it has no value at all. So I was trying to think about, what if there was a public television channel for the whole thing, for which I could set up my own portal. So again, my preferences based on what I actually am looking for and what I like to see would start to correct on this. So I would, in the thousands or millions of pieces of content, it would start to sort in a meaningful way towards my preferences.
Right.
And I could get it, and I could then share it and talk with other people about it. So that's what I've been thinking about is, maybe this is the central issue for creating value again.
I had a bit of that moment this morning when I just turned on, I was going to watch a little CNN as I woke up, and I'm going through the hotel's selector for TV channels, and I noticed that on the Good Morning Americas and on the other talk shows, it tells you who the guests are going to be. That's all it does. I mean, this is just vestigial, rudimentary information about who's going to be there, and I realize that that's going to make a big difference on who selects which of these particular shows to go to.
Yes.
So you're talking about a whole lot more than that. There's all sorts of opportunity, but where does this go from there?
Well, I think just everyone, there's another opportunity here which I see, which is also on the research side. If you're a producer of content, at the moment you go to focus groups, big surveys. It's very expensive. It's very slow. And I don't think actually most of it really works because you're setting the question, you're biasing, the process.
Right.
But again, if you had this kind of I hate to use it, portal or something, then your and my behavior would immediately come back to the producer. And they would be getting real-time research that would enable them to adjust whatever they're doing.
And TiVo does some of this in the sense that your TiVo will begin to adapt to the kinds of shows and the kinds of artists and the kinds of things you're looking for, and will begin to recommend things, and in fact sometimes even tape things or record things for you.
Yes.
So somebody's playing with this. We need this more broadly available, I guess is what you're saying in part.
Yes, I think it is. And the other element then would be to bring in not just nature or masterpiece theater, but what about your or my videos? And what about the conversation about it? Because my sense is at the moment PBS is running Jane Austen every Sunday night. But what about having Jane Austen book clubs in every city? And you can see again how a place like this could become very, very rich. Then you'd want to find people who liked Jane Austen.
Right.
And then you might discover other things you like to do with those people.
The Heathcliff users group.
Yeah.
So one of the things that's always been a curiosity to me, sort of bothered me, is why isn't there a live chat channel next to every TV program everywhere? And then where is there?
New one. Bryant Park Project is an NPR alternative morning news show run out of New York. It's new, has a very young, great group of people doing it, and we've created a whole Twitter club for this, and we're all talking to each other and to the people who are on the show. So they're saying one thing, but to you and I as listeners,
right.
But we're all talking about what they're having for breakfast.
So will you explain Twitter briefly for anybody who hasn't seen it?
Twitter is a difficult thing to explain. It's a bit like I am. You're restricted to only 140 characters. So I can say, I'm having coffee. I'm having an interview with Jerry today. That'd be about as much as you could say in one go.
Yeah.
But it enables you to link all that up very easily with friends, and so you can carry on a back channel conversation. It has two sides of it. A lot of it is simply, I'm having breakfast, which keeps the community warm, but it's brilliant at things like breaking news. So the first thing we heard about Castro giving up, I heard actually through friends on Twitter before I heard it on the news. So radio is starting to see Twitter as being a way of actually having this ongoing, real-time, personal back channel running, and it runs after the show as well. So we're all talking, I talk to Laura, well, 7 days a week, you know, whenever we're up, you know, and it's a very nice way of building a tight community who are now shaping what's being, you know, what the program's going to be. There's always some element coming in from this inner group. So it's just a beginning.
So it's a start. And my wonder was, why wasn't that available for every TV program on every station? For example, you could create a nomenclature where you say freenode.net/CSI Eastern Central Time, or what, I guess Eastern Central Time would be funny, but...
So if you were watching CSI,
yeah,
it'd be more fun, though, to have the crew and the cast involved as well,
right,
if they would want to be, rather than just having a fan group. It's the big radio TV conference. It starts tomorrow in San Francisco, and there is a whole group talking about maybe making Twitter the new AP. So imagine, you know, in real time, we live all over the world. Bad things happen. You could be an immediate witness. The other day, one of the guys who I Twitter with was in Las Vegas, and he suddenly went, "Oh my God, there's a fire!" And that was when the fire broke out in the hotel, and he was giving a running commentary,
right,
of the fire.
Right.
Last week in Vancouver, there was a bomb. A guy was going by, took some photographs, and immediately uploaded them onto Flickr. They were there before any news service. And what we're talking about is, what about creating the new AP, where we invite people to join in?
Well, I did an interview a couple weeks ago with Leonard Brody, who's the head of the News is Now Public, so nowpublic.org, sorry, .com, not .org. And second sentence out of his mouth blew me away, and he said, "We're going to create the world's largest news agency." And he said, "Look, Reuters got really huge by putting a man and a telegraph and a desk in every city and being able to get the news out faster to the other cities. CNN got bigger by actually being able to drop a camera and a satellite feed anywhere in the world. Right. And guess what? Everybody now has a cell phone with a camera on it. These things right here."
This, by the way, maybe it's the final thing, this is the future. I'm going to watch TV on it tomorrow. I'm not. I'm going to use my iTouch, actually. But something no bigger than this, and it's also, I can carry it everywhere.
And you can transmit out.
And I can transmit out.
Right.
I think we keep thinking about computers. This is a computer.
Right.
And I think this is the core of the new media world.
Anything else you'd like to add? Any other blog-worthy observations from the show?
I'm still processing. I'm a reflective thinker, so I'll read the blog. I'll have something interesting tomorrow.
And maybe we can reflect again and come back to this.
Yeah. Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you very much. We have Rob Patterson from the floor at Fast Forward 2008. Keep watching. We'll be doing more interviews. Thanks very much.